Welcome to Prove It. I'm Megan O'Connor.
And I'm Mary Cummings.
This is the podcast for people who know that they were meant for more, but just don't know how to achieve it.
Every week, we bring you real conversations, proven strategies, and that kick in the ass you didn't know you needed to become the person you really want to be.
So how about that trailer?
I mean, I'm really happy with how it came out. I feel like the ending there definitely looks a little bit like a Nike commercial, but I feel like that's the energy that we want to bring to people.
Yeah, I mean, I think overall, like, it gets the message across. I mean, how much can you get across in a minute and a half? Like, obviously, we're so much more than working out and cold plunging.
Right. Yeah, I mean, it definitely gets the message across. And I think that that message is the proof is in your work. It's not in the talk. It's not in saying what you're going to do. It's actually the act of doing it and those mindset shifts that it takes to get to a place of being able to do it.
Yeah. And I think it's just something that we all struggle with, right?
Oh, yeah.
I struggle with it. You struggle with it. Like, I think consistency is something that's just hard.
It is. And I'm sure a bunch of people are asking, like, how did two real estate agents get to this spot of having a podcast that's surrounded around the idea of mindset and health and overall just living that best version of yourself? So I think that that's the question we should try to answer for people.
Yeah. I mean, when we started talking about a podcast, I feel like our conversations just kept evolving. And, you know, real estate and, you know, it really, I mean, obviously a lot evolves around mindset, but it's just like talking about negotiations and those elevated conversations and how you get from like one thing to another. And it's just like, from where we started to obviously like where we are right now is like, well, we use these tools in all aspects of life. Absolutely. And I think when we were starting to talk about real estate, we felt like getting excited about, well, I do this here and this is where I learned this and I use these tools in my everyday life. And I really diving into real estate and mindset, it was just like, let's broaden it a little bit more and let's just talk about where we can use these tools in not just real estate, but in other ways we can help our everyday be a little bit more productive.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is something that you've been working on for 20 years. You've been in the business. You have taught me never stop learning because things are constantly evolving and things are constantly changing. And your education and your mindset should also be evolving with the times. It's something that I'm still practicing. And I kind of feel like where we are today is only going to keep us accountable for these changes because consistency is not easy. And consistency is an issue that is something that everybody has a problem with, right? It's hard. Consistency is hard. And making these small shifts and just doing one thing different every day to hold yourself accountable, it makes all of the difference. So for me, this podcast, this is my accountability, right? We're sitting down every week.
Everybody needs the accountability. And it's just like, you know, I love the line that I always think about. And I'm like, this is like Tom Brady's line. And he's just like, you don't have to be anything special. You just have to be what most people aren't. And that's consistent. And it's just like, we were reading the stat and the stat is like 9%. 9% of people like have that in them to stay consistent. And it's just like, you know, when you think about like what that can do for you and those small shifts, and we're going to like, obviously like, you know, talk about all that, but it's just like how much one thing can change your life if you just can like shift one piece of it. And I know how one thing has changed my life when I've made those shifts. And that's why I'm like so passionate about why we're here, because it's like you see the change that it can make and you're like, fuck yeah. Like,
fuck yeah. Yeah, it's totally a domino effect. You change one thing. And I think For me, that one thing is getting up earlier because it sets the tone for the whole day. And that's my small shift that makes a huge difference for me. It sets the tone for everything. And as soon as you can make one change, the rest of the changes just kind of fall right in line.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to revert back to our trailer and like, you know, getting up in the morning and doing the green juice and doing the sauna and all those things. Like, I love what you say about that and like having that be the vehicle. Like, obviously, like that's not everything, but you know, win the morning, win the day. Like I always like when I'm sitting in bed and you're doing that negotiation with yourself, be like, I'll do it later, or, you know, I don't want to do it now, or there's always tomorrow in that fight. And I'm just like, you know, just prove it to yourself that you're going to get up and just do this fucking right now. And it's just like, it just sets my day in a more productive way. Like your mind is moving a little bit faster. It's moving in a healthier way. You're making those better decisions where you're just like, you know, I'm going to eat better. Like to me, like that just starts the day in a healthier setting that I know that when I make those choices right from the start, it just kind of fuels it. And then when you do it consistently, you're like, wow.
Yeah, you're on a different kind of wheel. Yeah, and I think it really answers the question. That first question that we ask in the podcast is, what if later is the thing holding you back? And I feel like that was such a powerful line for us to start the trailer with because later does turn into never. And it's so hard to answer that question and to negotiate with yourself in the opposite way of saying, no, I am going to do this. I am going to prove it to myself. And so that's why in our podcast, we're going to break down these decisions and these tools and show you how you can actually show up for yourself. Not just tell you, you need to do this, you need to do that, but give you proven strategies and real life examples of where this may show up in your life and how you can overcome it. And so you can start to make these small shifts for yourself as well.
Yeah. And getting back to like the small shifts, it's just like, it is the small shifts. It's not the dramatic changes. It's not about like doing a massive thing. And it's just like, once you do one small thing and you're like, wow, that wasn't that hard.
Made a hell of a difference. Yeah.
That was actually pretty easy. And then you keep like, well, wonder if I do this one more thing.
Yeah.
What more could it do? And it's almost like you said before, like the domino effect. And it just kind of keeps the ball rolling in a way where you're like, you see your life evolving into a more powerful, like, you're like, let's go.
Let's go. Exactly.
And it's that's what it's all about.
And I think that the piece is you always knew that you had it in you. You always knew that you were meant for more. It's actually taking the step, the first step, the 3 seconds in the morning from laying down to sitting up. It is that one small thing that is going to propel your life just to the direction that you knew that you could always go.
And even like, I know for me, when I started making these shifts, and this has been years in the making, right?
Yeah.
Like I've been working on myself like for 20 years. Like I'm a big, if I've done anything, it is that, but it's just like, like intentionally doing different things over the last few years and seeing some things. It's just like, when you do small things, it's just like, it puts your mind into a different space where it's like, if you were to ask me a couple of years ago that I would be doing a podcast, I'd be like, get the fuck out of here.
Like,
you know,
no
like
shot.
I feel, like, I just think that when you open yourself up to different opportunities, it's just like, well, that now makes sense.
Exactly.
Or now like, okay, well now I have the information and I did this coaching or I put myself into this space and now, that's the most natural place for me now to be. And let's now open that door up. But whatever the door may be. And it's like, this is pretty cool. Let's now share what we learned to the rest of the world of what we've been working on for the last how many years.
Right.
So I just think that, again, when we're here and just talking about how to implement these changes into your everyday life and to actually start doing the work and showing you how to do the work. It's just like, it's really simple.
And I think one of the biggest tools that we are going to be talking about across this whole podcast is also something that we never thought that we would be talking about, and that's journaling.
Oh, she said
I said it. I said
I
the word.
almost was like, is there a different word we can use? Because I feel like in the past, when people have said the word, I've been
It's
like,
cringe.
I don't journal.
No, journaling's not for us. But it's not a diary. It's a tool. It's a spot to write down all of these things that you have, all these ideas in your head, you have these goals, you have this vision of where you want to go. Until you write it down, it's just floating.
And that's another thing. It's just like, evolving the mind. It's just like, that is something where I was just like, you wake up in the morning at 5 a.m. and you start journaling. And I would just like, again, uneducated, like I had evolved myself. And it's just like, I put it into now that I'm into journaling and I'm into obviously being more intentional about that place, I look at it now and I'm like, I spend so much time in business planning, right?
Right.
And I'm like, I got coaches, I'm spending my last quarter, and I'm like, I got my team together and we're doing this and we're doing that. And there's multiple meetings about it. And it's just like, you spend weeks and months in doing this. And it's just like, what do you do for yourself personally?
Where's the roadmap?
Where's the roadmap?
Yeah.
And it's like, when you dive into like being more purposeful about who Megan O'Connor is, like, what do I want to accomplish myself, not business?
Yeah, for
like,
your family, for your personal life.
Yeah, like, what do I want?
Health.
What do I want my family to look like this year in 2026? Like, where do I want to go? What do I want to do? What do I want my weight to look like? What do I want my goals to look like? What do I want to, do I want to run something this year? Do I want to do a marathon? You know what I mean? Like, what does that all look like? When it's in my head, it just kind of floats. And what was in my head last year never happened because it was never anywhere. So now that I'm into actually having that accountability for myself, and it's in a freaking book, right? It's in a notebook. And it gets written down, and it gets written down every day about, hey, this is what I did today, and this is what I failed at today.
And this is where I can change.
And this is this is what's happening, and this is what I'm working towards, and it is what it is. But you're understanding to me that I'm not perfect, and I'm writing it down. And I did good at this today, and I have a trouble with praise. Like, I don't receive compliments well. Like, that's something that it's hard for me. And I write that down.
Yeah.
Like, I did well.
You're praising yourself.
Yeah. Like, I'm trying to, like, so there's things that I'm trying to work on. And until it was written down, I was just like, I feel like it just helps the needle move a little bit faster.
Yeah,
so,
absolutely.
Journaling.
I
know. I still kind of cringe when the word comes out. I'm like, can we call it like notebooking? No. It is what it is. It's journaling.
I'm
is
saying
what it
is. Yep. And
there's a lot of power in it.
There is. And so that's something that I think we're going to challenge our listeners with is if you've never picked up a piece of paper and a pen, now's your time to start.
And if you want to call it something different than journaling, we're open to your word as well. But it is just, it's a freaking notebook.
It is.
It's something simple. It's nothing that has to be fancy. It's the lines. It's just having that place to hold yourself accountable to and what you want your day to be like.
Absolutely. So if you live in Saratoga or Warren County and want to follow along with our journey and also hold yourself accountable, we have something for you. Send us an email and subscribe to our podcast, and we will send you your very own Prove It journal. And each week we're going to be giving you prompts and exercises to work through these challenging moments in your life and help you hold yourself accountable. So send us a message and we'll send it out to you.
Prove it.
Prove it.
The work isn't hard. It's just what most people won't do consistently.
If you're ready to master your mindset through small, intentional shifts, keep tuning in.
And if you've ever considered how real estate could help evolve your financial future, it's time to have a conversation because you know you are meant for more.
Now prove it.